This week we're going to talk about multimedia, intellectual property, and piracy. And these are the topics we're going to cover this week. So it's kind of a light week. Less lectures gives you more time to do any assignments or quizzes that you might need to do if you're in my college class and you're not watching this online somewhere. Anyhow, multimedia stands for many media, multi, many, and then media, multimedia. And so we're going to look at the different forms of media that are out there. Like if you go back throughout the history of humanity, right? Like at one point there was no media, no media. Humans just lived in the wild, and there were no books, there was no TV, there was no music. And so when we talk about multimedia, what we start to look at is like a short history of conveying ideas. How at one point we started conveying things with text, and then text with drawings, and then printing press, and color, and photos, and radio, and television, and movies, and talkie movies, and colored TV, and computer graphic images, computer generated images, CGI. So we're going to look at some of the text properties about text, like serif and sans serif fonts. We're going to look at some of the properties of images, like raster, bitmapped images, or vector images, and we're going to learn the difference between those. We're going to look at how we compress images, just some really basics on compression. We're going to look at motion pictures, video, and some of the file formats for that, and just a little information about it. We'll look at audio and some of the file formats and sampling rate, mono versus stereo, and resolution for audio. We'll also look at installing new fonts on your computer, how you can install new fonts on your computer, how you could save images in different ways. And then we're going to talk about intellectual property, which is kind of like what are the rights of ownership for intellectual property items that you might create. How do you protect those? So that's considered IP, intellectual property. Sometimes it's referred to as IP. And that's different from real property. So we have intellectual property, real property. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about piracy, which is stealing somebody's intellectual property. And then we'll have some videos here for you to take a look at. And so that's what we have coming this week.